Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Tuesday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to talk about the forecast for the next few days here and then take a look at our next storms coming up at the end of this week. So starting here with the satellite imagery, this is our nighttime microphysics imagery showing us different levels of clouds. You can see we have some high clouds across the Cascades and moving across parts of Western Washington this morning, otherwise mostly clear. A little bit of fog along the I-5 corridor there and up into the southwest interior, and then a little bit of marine layer stuff going on up here in the North Sound as well. Some of that fog continues all the way south along parts of the coast and down the Willamette Valley as well. Radar is clear this morning. We do have a little bit of drizzle off the coast, but otherwise that is it. And we do have a nice and clear morning after our rain moved through. Maybe a little bit of rain moved through up in Whatcom and Skagit counties this morning, but otherwise clear across the region. Now taking a look at our overall pattern, you can see that we have this brief ridge over us as we go through today. You can see that pushes off out of the area as we go into tomorrow morning. We have this brief clipping here by a trough. You can see that moves through there as we go through Wednesday evening. And then we have a little bit of ridging building back in as we go into Thursday morning, but then take a look at this trough that sets up offshore, and it just dominates our weather, just stays here all the way through Saturday and Sunday and Monday, and it's just going to continue bringing us showers and active weather, and then after that we may have more weather coming up as we go into the early portions of next week. So starting here with our precipitation type forecast, you see that bit of drizzle on the coast today. Otherwise, we remain dry today. And as we go into Wednesday evening, we do have this rain off the coast. Some of that moves into the lowlands, especially the North Sound and the northwest interior as we go into 8 p.m. or so there on Wednesday. Get a few showers out of that, and then we dry out briefly again Thursday morning in the lowlands, but not on the coast. And then you can see as we go into Thursday night, we have this atmospheric river signature here that's not really going to be an atmospheric river for us because it's moving pretty quickly. But you can see as we get to early Friday morning, about 5 a.m., that rain starts to move onto the coast. By midday, that rain is over Western Washington, heavy at times. You can see that continuing as we go all the way through Friday night. Not very much mountain snow because this is, again, a progressive atmospheric river, so it is moving pretty quickly. And then we have lots of showers after that. And then the next system, this low that moves into Vancouver Island, that does have a little bit of wind potential as well. Moves in Saturday morning, brings another round of rain, heavy at times, more mountain snow, and then showers in its wake. You can see lots of showers continuing all the way through Sunday into Monday. There, look at that convergence zone showing up Sunday night, bringing a lot of snow to parts of the Central Cascades, and then some rain to the Seattle area. And that's where this forecast run ends, but there's more activity coming up after this, so stay tuned for more as we go through the next few days. Taking a look here at the European model, this is total precipitation through 11 p.m. Sunday, and you can see some pretty good amounts here for most of the region. The coast likely getting their 2.5 to 4.5 inches of rain, most in the Olympics as usual. The mountains where it doesn't snow getting 2 to 4 inches of rain. Then take a look at the lowlands. From about Everett northward there, you're looking at 2 to 2.5 inches. A little bit of a rain shadow there for Whidbey Island and the San Juans. Just a little bit though, still getting about 1.25 to 1.5 inches. And then from Everett southward through Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, down toward Portland, likely getting 1 to 1.5 inches of rain, maybe a little bit more where some convergence zone heavier showers may set up as we go through these storms. And this is again through Sunday night, and we will have more rain through Monday. And then you can see the Kitsap Peninsula, they're getting about 2 inches of rain also. So definitely a really healthy dose of rain for the region coming up as we go to the end of this week. And you can see that mountain snow through Sunday night as well. The Olympics getting maybe up to a foot of snow. And then take a look at the Cascades. You have Stevens Pass around 4 to 7 inches. Snoqualmie Pass potentially getting 5 inches or so. It's first snow of the season that's actually significant up there. And then Chinook Pass, White Pass getting 8 to 12 inches possibly. This may be the end of the road for Chinook Pass depending on how much snow they get. So this is definitely worth watching. We'll watch as this forecast probably fluctuates a little bit in terms of snow amounts, but it is likely that we're going to get a decent dose of mountain snow with that second system, not the atmospheric river, but that second system that comes in behind it. And I want to take a look at those systems real quick. So here we're just comparing the 6Z run, which is this morning's run, versus last night's run, where we did get an uptrend on that low. So let's move back out here. You can see as we go through today, you have that ridge, and then you have this troughing starting to set up here. You can see that atmospheric river signature right here and that boundary of the trough. And then as we go into Thursday morning, you can see that atmospheric river moves closer. We do have this little bit of a system ride up along the atmospheric river as we go into Friday morning that may bring some gusty winds to parts of the region, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. And then you can see as we go into Friday night and Saturday, this low moves in from offshore, moves into Vancouver Island, and as it moves north, that will bring some winds to western Washington as well. And we may remain active after this, but we do also have a little bit of ridging starting to pop back into the area, so we'll have to watch that closely as well. And then here are peak winds as we go through Sunday night. So if we back this up a little bit, actually, you can see the winds with our first system on that little system that clips us on Wednesday could bring gusts up to 30 to 35 miles per hour for parts of the Sound and the coast. And then as we go with that system that moves through Thursday night into Friday morning, you can see that system there bringing gusts potentially 40 to 45 miles per hour for most of the interior, strongest up in the northwest interior with gusts up to toward 50 miles per hour potentially around Bellingham and Whidbey Island. Take a look at some of these really juiced cells that move on to the Washington coast potentially with gusts near 60 miles per hour. They're near Long Beach. I'm not really sure if that is going to verify, but it's been showing up in the models for a few runs, so we have to watch that closely. And then you can see gusts up to 45 to 55 miles per hour on the coast, so a stronger storm there for the coast, maybe some gusts near 60 with some of these dynamics showing up here for the South Washington coast and North Oregon coast. And then you can see based on the track of that little low that moves in Friday there from Tacoma down toward Portland, likely getting gusts there 35 to 45 miles per hour. And then as we go into Sunday with that bigger low that moves in, you can see those gusts increase across the area, with most of the lowlands from Portland all the way up through Bellingham showing gusts of 45 to 50 miles per hour, and another round of 50 mile per hour gusts on the coast. So we have to watch that closely. Forecast models have been kind of waffling back and forth in terms of what happens with that low, where it is, how strong it is, and that does determine a lot in terms of our winds here in the interior. So stay tuned for more over the next few days as we continue watching this. We do have a few shots of wind coming up, and we have to watch the potential very closely just to see how it plays out. And then taking a look at high temperatures here, let me refresh this just to get us the latest data. There we go. So now you can see today highs likely in the upper 50s to low 60s across western Washington, maybe some mid 60s around south from Chehalis down toward Portland. Then as we go into Wednesday, there you can see with the atmospheric river over BC to our north, we do warm up a little bit more there with the ridging as well, with highs likely into the low to mid 60s across western Washington, upper 50s still on the coast. On Thursday, we do start to cool back down, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Cool down further on Friday, highs in the mid to upper 50s, and then by Saturday with some lows, the low moving through there, you can see highs drop to the low to mid 50s across western Washington, and much cooler even by Sunday there with highs in the upper 40s to low 50s, maybe barely even scratching 50. For western Washington. You may have low 50s there in the Willamette Valley, but barely even scratching 50 for western Washington there, and that is, you can make a sense of why there's going to be some snow in the mountains on Sunday. Now taking a look at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlooks for the 26th of October to the 30th, so basically next Sunday, this upcoming Sunday through the next Thursday, you can see below average temperatures for the Pacific Northwest and then above average precipitation. So we're sticking with that pattern that we've been seeing here showing up in the extended outlook for the next few days. And then, of course, if you'd like a cool hoodie or sweatshirt here, go and check out the Western Washington Weather merch store. Link is in the description below. These are nice and comfortable and fun to wear, so go and check that out. And thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe here to Western Washington Weather. Follow me on Facebook, Blue Sky, and Twitter. And stay tuned for a lot more updates as we have some active weather coming up through the rest of this week. And I'll be doing videos, of course, and updates here on social media as well. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.